Hello, my name is Rob Shibley, and today I'm going to talk about my personal OD&C method, the client discovery method for BGSU EMOD course ORGD 6060, spring semester 2016. My meta model consists of 6 main phases. The center phase there, the center block, is the client discovery method phase. There are 3 phases that take place before the client discovery method phase, the event phase, the meet phase, and the outside OD work phase. And then after the client discovery takes place, there are 2 phases, the closing phase and the follow-up phase. I will address each of these in more detail in the presentation. Just like a Rubik's Cube can be twisted and contorted and changed from its ideal state, so too can a company over time as changes occur. And it takes just someone with the knowledge and skills to make a few twists and a few turns to restore that organization to its desired appearance. And in this presentation, I'm going to outline the processes in my personal OD&C method, client discovery. I'll provide and explain my meta model. I'll apply design elements, provide my approach, an application example, and I'll also talk about the things I learned in the paper and provide a conclusion. The table of contents includes my introduction, the model itself, taking my approach, application example, and conclusion. Organizational development, OD&C, is, I'm arguing, at its core, a sales process. So if you consider the fact that things aren't bought, they're sold. And the reason things are sold is because the consumer needs to change something. So they have a need for a change which they believe will be satisfied by obtaining a given good or service. Examples include vehicles, appliances, landscaping, insurance, televisions, smartphones, and all the other things that we use in our lives. And organizations have needs too. And since most businesses exist for the reason to make money, there is a continuous quest for process improvement in order to become more efficient and profitable. OD&C is a product which satisfies this need, and approaching OD&C from this perspective and customizing a blended solution as a product, when done properly, will meet the customer's needs. The 6 design elements that I'm going to be addressing are purpose, system, journey, values, evidence, and model. So why use client discovery? Well, I consider myself to be an expert in the sales career field. And a master closer. And if you want to be successful in OD, you must sell yourself. You must sell your methods and yourself to your client and gain the confidence of the decision makers. And once you sell yourself and gain the confidence, you'll be able to blend a customized solution for them. And how are organizations different or better? Well, organizations are better off from using client discovery because I obtain buy-in through dialogue and gain their need behind the need, which is their stated need for change. And once you have the need behind the need, you're able to move forward to offer solutions which are of value. And the results that can be expected are from using the client discovery method is to identify the true needs of the customer and offer targeted solutions. The client discovery method has 3 major components: the event phase and the meet phase, which take place before the method. There's actually the client discovery phase itself, and then there's 2 phases that take place after the method, the close and the follow-up phases. The event phase and the meet phase happen before the method. The event phase is where it's how you meet the client, whether it be an email or a phone call or face-to-face. Some brief information sharing takes place. You probe for as much information as you can and try to identify the problem. Find out what their perceived need is. Try to formulate in your mind the need behind the need, which I'll address in the next slide. And you're establishing a rapport, so you want to determine your compatibility with the client. In the meet phase, you restate the information, you affirm their needs, hypothesizing a need behind the need with them, asking lots of open-ended questions, and identifying stakeholders and decision makers. So what is the real need? What's the need behind the need? The need behind the need is a term we don't use a lot in this course, but it's the real driver behind the client's desire for change, and when identified, it leads to a logical solution. It can save time and money because the real source of the problem may be easier to obtain than the perceived solution, and consultants have a responsibility to uncover the customer's true needs and deliver high-quality solutions that are cost-effective and sustainable. I created this Punnett square to demonstrate the need behind the need in these 4 quadrants. If the level of ease goes from, on the far left, low level of ease, very difficult to implement, to the far right, very easy to implement, and the impact level goes from low to high. In the 4 quadrants, there are things that are impractical if they're hard to implement, no impact, a waste of time if they're easy to implement but low impact. If they're high impact but hard to implement, may not be possible to get them approved. So you're looking for the winning solutions, which are also oftentimes derived from the top left block. That's why the arrow's there. Your winning solutions a lot of times come from the brainstorming sessions, which identify things that you can't get approved. And that's a little graphic representation of the need behind the need. The OD work before client discovery process is where you determine the need behind the need, identifying the problem, you talk about courses of action, and also identify secondary needs. Then you actually go into the client discovery method, and that's where you present the need behind the need to the client, which may be a surprise to them. They may not know that already. You present proposed solutions, methods for solving their problems, explaining all the features, the qualities of those solutions, and the benefits, how it's of value to the company, getting their feedback. And this is where you're going to encounter some obstacles, some objections. These are situations that prevent moving forward, and things you have to get past in order to get to the problem solving. Then you'll do some more brainstorming, come back to the client, and you'll close. The closing phase is where you talk about the course of action, affirming the need behind the need, pick a course of action, and help them create and implement a plan for change. And then you follow up by doing the AR and assisting. The values are: never assume the needs and don't lead the client. We're honest, we're inclusive, we're objective, we never judge. And like I've been 30 plus years working in organizations that are continuously changing. I was a military recruiter, and I identified the need behind the need as I was trying to change people's lives, and organizations are no different. I also have 15 years experience in sales management, and sales training. My application example is simply that if someone's trying to put a change where they feel they want to change building locations, they may say they want to change building locations. That's their need, but the need behind the need is maybe the building they're in is unsafe. So safety is the issue. So if you're able to address the safety issue, you may be able to not have them necessarily move, just appeal to their need behind the need of being safe. That's my application example. And in conclusion, my summary is that as I approach this method as I started creating it, I really didn't know where I was coming from or what I was doing, and I just kind of fell back on the way I normally address problems and the way I handle change processes at work and in my own life, and so it sort of emerged on its own. My assessment is that there's a lot of similarities between sales and the sales process and the OD process, and my action learning is that I feel like I already have the skills for this particular method. My concluding remarks are that I am really excited about getting the feedback back on this method, and hopefully it's something that's viable, and I'm looking for some good input so I can make it better and be able to use it in the future. So these are my references. I appreciate your time, and thank you for watching my presentation.